Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with BMW Williams, episode number 67 today for the Portuguese Grand Prix of Season 5, round number 3. If you missed the previous episode uploaded on Monday at Imola, recommend go and check that out. And of course, subscribing to the channel to see plenty more F1 2021 and F1 22 Driver Career Mode episodes. So yes, no upgrades for us coming into this episode, so instead we're just got a flat line there. Ferrari have brought an upgrade, so them, Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari are all pretty much neck and neck. I'm pretty sure AlphaTauri are maxed out now, so with Ilott and Tsunoda, it's not really the lineup they really need to take them forwards there. As well, and then of course Haas, well, they might have maxed out, but I mean that wouldn't surprise me if they have on the level that car has been performing in real life in 2021, and of course on this game. But yes, to qualifying then for the Portugal's actually a good track for me, but this is probably the last time we're going to be racing around here, because obviously there's no classic tracks in F1 22. And doesn't look like we're going to be coming back here anytime soon, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because it's actually a nice track for me to drive. Anyway, this was my fastest lap. As well, lost a little bit of time through turn 1, but then gained it back through turn 2. But we're 2/10 off Hamilton there through the first sector. Into the middle sector, this is where I lose the most time to the AI as we approach this corner. A little bit more less wayward than the episode on the online episode loaded on Tuesday as well. We're not only a fraction up on our previous best time, 9 thousandths, a hundredth up on our previous best time, losing time through that corner as we go back up the hill into the hairpin, gaining time on the exit there. This is not a great improvement as well. There has been a little bit few mistakes here and there, so we'll look to improve on our final flying lap maybe. Up to the line, it's going to be a narrow improvement of 31 thousandths of a second. And on the following lap, things, well, as I say, got greedy on that curb again, and then as I was spinning around to go forwards, Alonso decides to completely annihilate us out of the qualifying as well. We'll get a replay on board with Alonso in the black and yellow Renault car as he comes through the corner. Yellow flags there, sees me there, and just decides not to go, just decides to carry on. And have a guess where we've qualified. This is our most consistent qualifying position of P18. 8/10 off Russell, but you know he is Mr. Saturday after all. So you know we're getting there. We're getting better. So it's not completely out of the way. Alonso qualifies P8th after taking us out. Verstappen 1,000th faster than Gasly. So hopefully Gasly can now take the fight to Verstappen, who's won the opening 2 rounds of the season. So see if Ferrari as well can get involved. We'll see what we can do from 8th on the grid. It's time for the race, today's Portuguese Grand Prix.
The Formula One circus has made its way to the southern coast of Portugal this week, and it's preparing for what I expect to be a terrific race here in Portimao. So Portimao features 15 turns over the course of its 2.9 mile length. 9 are right-handers, 6 are to the left, and this is a track with a lot of uphill action, which only accentuates the importance of getting those exits right, especially at turn 4, where a good line can present opportunities to pass on the way into turn 5. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, with Pierre Gasly alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Stroll, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, and Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Norris and Callum Ilott, Hamilton, Ocon, George Russell and Perez, Joe, Latifi, Sebastian Vettel, Williams, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So we're going to have rain at the end of this race. That's annoying because I think we could probably, we did have a messy lap on that fast. Like we probably could have improved by maybe a tenth maybe or so as well. Maybe not be 18th on the grid as well. So we've got rain at the end of the race. We're going to try and send these soft tyres then till the rain period comes. So 5 red lights then to the Portuguese Grand Prix. One final time on F1 2021. Lights out and away we go. And it's a great start. A lot better than Vettel. Can we get Zhou as well before turn 1? The Chinese Matt driver in the DS accelerates and then obviously just brakes into that turn to get Latifi as well. Direct on the inside of multiple cars there. The AlphaTauri comes around. I think it's Ilott there. We're going to go around the outside of Ilott though. A little bit of track extending there. We get a warning from the FIA as well as we're now going to have a look to go around the outside then of the Renault car, who I think Ilott went up the inside. He did. And we are able to get the position and we're up to P9. A great start to this race for us, as unfortunately Gasly is not close to Verstappen as well. So although it is Verstappen from Gasly then Stroll, nothing doing there. Jump back to our POV on lap number 4. Alonso with a huge dive on our side. You know, she's getting more overcast as this race goes on. The rain is on its way. And we will be moving to winters as we force Alonso out. That's going to allow Ilott to get back in front of Alonso as well. So yes, in actual fact, Alonso might be susceptible for his teammate Esteban Ocon in the other Renault and our teammate George Russell, but Alonso does keep the position. So jump to lap 4 then, we're weaving about trying to break the slipstream of the much faster AlphaTauri Porsche car. Ilott goes down the inside. A little bit of contact there. There wasn't anything. He didn't have a broken front wing though. In that, because Ilott definitely stays out, but we do defend the position there. But unfortunately, get a little bit twitchy on that corner. A little bit of PTSD from qualifying there. Ilott then tries to go around the outside, but we're able to defend the inside, retain P9, but we've clearly not got the pace to be able to match. Norris, up in front as we go around the outside once again of Ilott to defend the position. That seems to be the a little bit like the inside line at. As you jump to F11, you can clearly see that the conditions have deteriorated. Something's happened to Ilott. I think Alonso tried to make a pass on him off camera, and he's got contact. So I think Ilott. That's why he wasn't close, because he was close until a couple of laps ago, and then all of a sudden he's dropped off, and you can see there he's still in the pits there as Alonso comes out. So definitely a front wing change for the Brit in the AlphaTauri Porsche car. For us, 2.3 second stop. That's a very good stop, and it's going to put us out in P11. Couple of people decided to go on, but under the pit stops then it's still Verstappen from Gasly. Sainz now up to P3, I presume Red Bull double stack, which is why Stroll's P4. Tsunoda is P5, Ricciardo P6. It's been a dreadful day for Charles Leclerc, who started P2 and is now only P7. Norris is P8, and we're still defending from Alonso into that court. Unorthodox place to make an overtake, but we do squeeze Alonso out into his former teammate Lewis Hamilton there. But eventually Alonso does come back at us. We get a little bit squirrely on the exit there. Go on to the penultimate lap. We're going to defend the outside once again going into turn 1 and swoop through to retain P9 as well for 2 measly points. We are finding this hard. Although we have had another moment here, these tyres are absolutely dreadful. And through to lap 17 there, again losing the rear end, losing the car altogether. Alonso goes through, but we're going to re-dive back out the inside, turn to the outside for the next corner, but we cut across to take the apex and move back up into P9. Alonso will have a go, assure us down to turn 5, but we are able to keep the position as well and keep it to the end of the lap there. You can see how much of a train that I'm really forming there. Norris is half a minute up the road. That's just, you know, look how much drifting I'm having to do through the final corner, up to the line, for 2 measly points, but it's 2 points on the more points than we had at the start of the race, and it's definitely 2 more points than our teammate managed today. So, yes, not great, not a great race, but to be 50 seconds off the lead, but then the likes of Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, AlphaTauri are getting there, and then Norris is just in a world of his own in that Mercedes car as well. All hopefully will have upgrades to come as well. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, we've moved up to P10, 70 points off Max Verstappen, who won the race again. Sainz moves up into second, but they're 35 points behind already. So if Verstappen doesn't win this season, then that will be he will have bottled it. Comes to constructors, we are 1 point ahead of Mercedes. We do need to watch that going into the next race.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
None of those.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
I'm not going to be telling you, Claire,
How do you
either.
feel the weather affected the outcome today?
Well, if the tyres weren't so drifty, it'd be
Appreciate
fine.
your time.
Yeah, I think if the tyres weren't so slidey compared to that episode that we had previously at Portugal in the rain, Project Phoenix, we have though on the better side, better news, that Sashi upgrade is coming in on the day after, so we should be able to at least get one of those upgrades done, and then we will look then to get the final ultimate upgrades in. As well, we'll look to purchase those at the start of the next race. We've got enough, as you can see, we've got 39,000 R&D points. We should be able to do them all at the same time, so they should be in for Baku, I think, if not Canada at the very latest as well, with those upgrades to come. But to the Drivers' Championship, obviously Monaco is next. Hopefully we don't have such a miserable race that we did in Season 4 as well. Yes, Sainz being consistent there, but Verstappen's won 3 in a row now. He did this at the start of last season and Season 3 as well, and then, he did recover in Season 4 to win that championship just in the end after his late crash at Jeddah in Season 4. But, in Season 3, he then had a series of poor results, so whether or not he can continue that momentum to Monaco, and whether or not the teams like Ferrari, bearing in mind Leclerc, not looking great, to be honest, 20 points behind his teammate, Charles will not be happy with that. The car, he's getting back to where it was in Season 3 by the looks of it, with Sainz now starting to score some consistent podiums. Yes, you got Tsunoda as well getting up there as well, whereas his teammate Callum Ilott scored 2 points, so maybe Ilott might be getting the door halfway through the season. We'll have to wait and see. So yes, if you have then enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 2021 and F1 22 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.
Bye.